Hello everyone, welcome to the Ozark Outpost. This is Global War 85, Operation Eagle, Soviet Global Command 3.3. Alright, I'm going to just get right on with tech roles. Caterpillar Drive, Chemical Warfare, Advanced Sonar, Advanced Manufacturing. There's going to be some train tickets to Siberia handed out over that. That's almost as bad as you can get for tech rolling. Yeah. Yes. It's going to be a Siberian Christmas for some die rollers in Moscow. Okay, after that miserable failure, we go on to global operations and insurgency. We happen to have an insurgent ready here, and PRF has decided they want an insurgency in Tanzania. Yes, Tanzania. If successful, this will not only allow them to link up with their friendly communist brethren in Mozambique, it would also possibly offer them direct access to Chinese-aligned Zaire. Have to see what happens. And then on the diplomacy part of global operations, once again, Gorbachev is going to dispatch his envoys to Baghdad for a sit-down with Saddam. They're just going to use the 2 free dice, nothing paid. Okay, military aid. For 6, is that right? Yeah. For 6, they are sending Angola a next-gen MBT and a field artillery with arms sales discount of 1. Then they're spending 5. Wait a minute, I may have gotten that wrong because I combined it. That's 2. Yeah, I think I got that wrong. Let's see. 3 and 1, that's only 4. They're going to save 1. I changed my mind in the middle of the buy, but I didn't change the money, and that was a mistake. So they're going to spend 3 on a next-gen MBT for Iraq. There's arms sales. No, they're going to spend 2. So there's arms sales discount of 3 in Iraq. So they're spending 2 on a next-gen MBT for them. Then if that's the case, they are going to spend the other 3 for a SAM, and they're going to have arms sales discount of 2 for PRF. So if we take it all off the SAM, that has a cost of 1 and leaves 2. And they're just going to send them a field artillery. Sure, why not? So PRF get the SAM and a field artillery for a final cost of 3. Okay, that's purchase. Combat. Yes, there is going to be combat. Yes, it is going to take place in Scandinavia. Soviet Global Command is declaring war on Sweden. Sound the alarms, get the buzzers and ringers going. So this immediately causes Sweden to sign a defense treaty with NATO. So we're going to put that down here because the Soviets are not going to attack Gotaland. They're only attacking Svealand. So the first thing we have to have as part of this is this Swedish fleet here in A13 has to be taken out. So we're going to need a screening force and a moving force. The screening force is going to be on this card right here. So you see we got a cruiser, 2 destroyers, 2 frigates, and 2 diesel boats. And that is that marker there. So that's the screening force. And then the moving force that is going to conduct an amphibious invasion is on this card right here. So we got 3 amphibs hauling 3 marines, an MBT, a field artillery, an air cav, and 2 attack choppers. And then they've got a battle cruiser and a cruiser along for shore bombardment. So that's this marker here. Those guys are amphibious assault if this succeeds. And then we've got 3 airborne in Leningrad from the major air base. We'll go 1, 2, 3 into Svealand in an airborne assault. Get them over here. Then from Baltic states, we have all this air right here. Strategic bomber, backfire, 2 ASFs, a medium bomber, and 2 early gen fighters. 1, 2, 3. They're all going in. And they've got air bonus from the airbase there, so everybody can get back to Baltic states when they're done. Okay, so that's going to be the combat. So I will get things moved to the battle boards. Okay, I'm ready to go, but I realized I didn't detail the purchase. All I did was lay out military aid, so let's correct that. After the military aid expenditure, the Soviets are going to buy a pair of fighters for 12, 2 MBTs for 8. They're going to spend 5 to finish the battle cruiser from the build chart, and the final 2 on a frigate. Now we're ready. Okay, here we go. Got everything laid out here. This is just going to be like our battle board for the screening force action. And then everything else, there's the shore bombards up there for first strike. There's the MBT and field artillery waiting offshore to come on in round 2. A lone artillery with a first strike shot for the defender. 3 Marines and the air cav are boosted by close air support. So the airborne are just at their airborne assault 3. And the backfire and strategic bomber, of course, are carpet bombing. So, screening force battle first. The Soviets have 2 destroyers, so the Swedish diesel boats do not get first strike. The 1 Swedish destroyer takes the first strike from 1 Soviet diesel, but they will have 1 diesel boat first strike shot. And that is a hit. So 1 first strike hit. Sweden is going to take it on one of their diesel boats. So, and theirs don't get, no, yeah, those don't get first strike. So one diesel boat comes off. He's just dead. Okay. So now we have 2 frigates. There is a hit. The other diesel boat that did not get its first strike. There's the second hit. The Soviet Navy is just tearing it up. Go on, let the destroyers shoot. They came along, let them do their thing. Look at that, they got another overkill hit. So, that's it for them. We have, we'll make this destroyer this diesel boat. Okay, those both missed. So the screening force battle is a Soviet victory without loss. We'll set these guys off to the side. Now we come for the invasion of Svealand. So we have 2 shore bombardments from the battle cruiser and the cruiser in first strike. And look at that, they got a shore bombardment hit. Okay, now the defending field artillery gets first strike. He missed with a 12, so they're of course going to take the hit on the field artillery. Okay, now we have 2 ASFs attacking. There is 1 air hit. And we have 2 early gen fighters, air superiority. There is another air hit, although they only needed 1 because there's only 1 air target. So that's 1 air hit and 1 general hit. Okay, now we have the backfire. Uh-oh. A backfire and a strategic bomber carpet bombing. There are 2 hits from carpet bombing, so that goes up to 3. Now we've got 3 airborne. They miss. We get 3 Marines. They get 1 hit. And we have an air cav. That is a hit. That's 5, 6 hits. And that's how many defenders there are. Go on, let the medium bomber do his thing. Okay, there's an overkill hit. So that's plenty. The defenders are all dead. So now we have a defending fighter on air superiority. He gets a hit. 1 air superiority hit by the defender. And 5 mechs for 2 general hits. Okay. So these guys are gone. Hasta la vista. Okay, the Soviets, before I forget, they did get 1 air battle star for that air superiority kill. So let me put that out there for them. And they get a land battle star for capturing the territory, so put that out there. Now they have to take an air hit. They're going to take on the early gen fighter. And they have to take 2 general hits. Which they're going to take on 1 on the other early gen fighter. And they will kill 1 airborne. That's that. Alright, let me put things back. All right, here we go now. That's going to be Soviets up 2 to 39. I have put everything that came into Svealand on this card over here. So now we're doing non-combat movement. The air from the attack lands back here at Baltic States. So there we are. That taken care of. Over here, these 3 airborne are going to use their airborne movement in non-combat to go 1-2 down here to Volgograd. And I think that's going to be it for non-combat movement. Oh, wait, we forgot something. We'll do that when we come back over here. I got to do the diplomacy roll. We'll do that when we come back. So right now I'm placing units. We can do that when we go over for the recruitment roll. We can just do it at the same time. Okay, place units. 2 fighters. Get built at the major air base there in Volgograd. Two MBTs are built at the minor army base in Murmansk. Battle cruiser. Let's not put all our eggs in one basket. The battle cruiser and the frigate are going to be built at the major shipyard over here at Murmansk in A9. Yeah. That's it for placing units. So now we will come over here and do the diplomacy roll for Iraq. Look at that, there's a 10. They got it. They got the wrong box. Defense treaty with Iraq. Well, well, well. What is the Ayatollah thinking in Tehran? He's probably beside himself. Okay, so here we go. Defense treaty. And there they are. Now we have to give PRF its recruitment roll. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, missed. Okay, no recruitment. Now we're going to deliver military aid. So put that right there. So we have SAM and a field artillery. Well, let's put the SAM in Somali Republic. And let's put the field artillery in Kenya. shift west a little bit. And we have we have a bit of a difficulty. Yep, we just have the minor port. And the Soviets are at stage 2 of advanced logistics, so they don't have any heavy airlift capability. So I overlooked that. The next gen MBT will be delivered to Angola. We can do it this way. We're just going to send one unit to Angola. Which is all. Is the cost going to come out the same? It should, yes. The cost should come out the same. So, one unit to Angola, and we'll send 2 units to Iraq. No, wait, I can't do that either. Well, actually, I think maybe we can. So we can deliver the next gen MBT through this minor port into Basra, and then the field artillery can come around here to this minor port in Syria, and we can ask the Syrians for permission to pass a military aid through their territory. I believe that is legal, so the field artillery will be delivered overland via Syria to Baghdad. I think that's legal. If not, somebody will set me straight. Okay, that's military aid delivered, collecting money. 39. And 2 battle stars. Ozark Outpost. Over and out.